Hello, Thrive family. Good morning from here. So today, let's talk about love. To start with, I want to say something that many teenagers and quite frankly, a lot of adults don't hear enough. And it is the fact that belonging comes before performance. You belong before you perform, whether it's at home or in school, even with God. So love is not a reward for success. Love is not a leverage for control either. So when somebody says they will only love you after you have done something, now that's a reward system. That's not love. The flip side is when somebody says, if you love me, then do this. That is leverage. Actually, leverage for control. It is not love. So love is not a reward for success. Neither is it a leverage for control. Love is not a trophy. It's not a trophy that you earn after you have won something or completed an accomplishment. It is not a payment for grades. Parents, hear me. Love is not what you pay your children for getting an A in school or for obedience or for holiness. God does not love you for being holy. Love is not a payment or a reward for your hustle. It is not a reward for good behavior. It is not something that gets unlocked, when you do something right or when you perform. And it is also not something that gets withdrawn when you fail. Real love is foundational. Real love is not conditional. It is the soil that everybody grows best in the environment where real love exists, not the prize they get after they grow. Understand my analogy? Real love is the soil that everybody grows best in. It is not the prize that you get after you have grown. So think about it like a gardener. The soil is the love. It is the soil that helps us grow. It is not a reward we get for growing. Now, when love becomes a reward, people just start performing instead of becoming. When love becomes a leverage for control, if you love me, then do XYZ, the connection is replaced with control. Now, under that kind of love, under that kind of environment, love becomes a proof instead of presence. Obedience replaces consent, and fear of loss, fear of rejection replaces the freedom that should come with perfect love. And the quiet lesson that you teach, if you're a parent, the quiet lesson that your teenagers begin to learn is that my self-esteem, my worth depends on how well I comply. In a family context, what you're breeding is resentment. In church, in faith spaces, if you're a mentor or a teen teacher, what you would produce is what I call performative righteousness. Righteousness based on effort and the things that I do. And then at the end of the day, in relationships, when these young people get into their peer groups and start forming friendship, it trains them to abandon their boundaries just so that they can stay loved. And that's why we have a lot of young people and adults who remain in toxic relationships, because they will rather stay there than lose that thing that looks like love. Whereas in real essence, it is not. And all of what you're going to discuss this season around Valentine and love is going to be centered on this one conversation. Healthy love sounds different. Healthy love feels different. Healthy love is different. Healthy love says, I love you, and you still get to choose. That's how God loves us. God does not constrain us. He says, perfect love casts out fear. And in God's presence, there is liberty. So I love you, and you still get to choose. Your no does not cancel my care. I tell parents a lot, allow your young people to say no to you. A child who has not learned to say no at home cannot say no in precious spaces outside their home. So genuine love says your no does not cancel my care. Genuine love invites. It does not coerce people to do anything. This is especially important for your children, for your teenagers, if you're a parent here, because authority should not become oppression. Authority is not oppression. Parents, teachers, and mentors, hear me on this one. You are meant to protect the future, not control the identity of the people you are raising. So when a young person knows that they are loved, they can confidently take healthy risk, they can accept correction, they can grow faster, but they can also know where to set their boundaries, because identity grows best in safe spaces. Identity grows best in safety, and safety comes from a healthy sense of belonging. So love, I say it again, is not a reward. Love is not leverage. Love is a safe base from where people can rise. It is not a bargaining chip you use to manage people. It heals a lot of adults. It heals a lot of teenagers. It protects all of our children if we learn to communicate this effectively. That is my message on love for you and your teens in this season of Valentine. Cheers.